Speaking of Riot, we have this here, this courtesy of our buddy Chris Gore, who tweeted this out. It says, I've done 3 or more panels every year since Comic-Con launched, and they were always packed. Unfortunately, this is the 2nd year in a row that all my panels have been rejected. I applaud LA Comic-Con for their inclusive programming. I just wish I'd been included here. And you can see some of the wonderful things that had been included here.
I freaking love
Real
that.
banger.
I love that. That's a spin-off of J.K. Rowling stuff. Because hers is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. This is a spin. It's a twist on her.
Yeah, it is.
Gay
That's
Geeks
true.
and Where to Find Them.
That is true.
I gotta be honest. I think
Play
this
Verbal's video showing the turnout to these.
Oh,
great
we
guys.
will. Yeah, we will. I actually am kind of offended here. Shouldn't it say Gay Geeks and Where to Find They Them?
No, them is still right.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Probably find them at public rest stops. I don't know.
Yeah.
We got the Afro Weirdness and the Urban Superhero, 18 plus, by the way, which right in the middle of the afternoon. I just want to point that out. The 18 plus panel at dinner time over here. Trans masculine representation in entertainment. Thank you, Phoenix. I'm sure that was a packed one. And then the queer sci-fi on a budget. It's always a nice quality list of panels here. So the description, how do you bring a queer sci-fi project to life without a studio? I mean, I think we're all ready to roll and find out. So, Ryan,
that is
you
something
were
we
there.
need more queer sci-fi for sure. That's
Well, we did have what's the show we watched the other day, Blabs, that has the where the white guys are bad. What was that called? The
Lesbians
Australian
in Space?
Yeah, the lesbians in space. Show.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. And that
is
made
it
like
a porno?
No, it's not. It was an Australian cartoon, and it got like $600,000 in government grants, and it made $30,000 at the box office.
Yep.
But right, you actually were at Comic-Con this weekend.
Yeah.
And,
So
yeah, go ahead. Tell us your story here.
yeah, me and Anna, that Star Wars girl, were there just hanging out. Basically, doing our thing. We do the cons every year, and I look, man. Here's the thing. Chris Gore is right in this. Since LA Comic-Con began, he has always had 2 to 3 panels every single year, and they're always packed. Always packed. In fact, the year before we got banned, we had standing room only. It was standing room. We had more people in our panels than Kevin Smith had next door to us. Right, so we have more than Kevin Smith. So like, it's weird to me that us who pack the place every time, all of a sudden just got blacklisted, not just from LA Comic-Con, but from San Diego Comic-Con, from WonderCon. All of a sudden, we're just not allowed anymore, right? And coincidentally, it just happened to be the year that that we got banned was the year that we had Nerdrotic on the panel. We had Young Rippa on the panel, and it happened to be right after that we got banned or blacklisted.
Do you find it offensive that it's called blacklisting?
I mean, it's an old Hollywood term, but that's what it is. I mean, it's like, it's like, because you know what it is? It's basically like they don't have to give you a real reason. They could just not, let you come or not invite you.
Right.
So yeah, me and Anna, we go there because we have our press badges. So I have my press badge. So either way, because I'm not going to pay to go to that shit. So I have my my press badge. We go, we're hanging out, and Anna gets the idea of, hey, let's hit some of these woke panels. And I was just like, ooh, okay, let's just do it, man. And so we went to that one panel. It was called Queers in Sports Comics or something weird like that, right? And I'm like, okay. So we go there, we sit in the back, and I had to like pinch myself several times to not laugh at the shit that they were saying on stage, and looking around the room, seeing literally nobody in there except for like, a handful of people. There was more people on the stage than in the room.
Well, let's play this out here. I want to see the full video here. Let's actually count the people. So let's be generous here. There's one guy's arm who's up back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, okay. And by the way, while you're counting, understand like I'm pretty sure 90% of the people that you do see were friends of the people who are on the stage. That's the only reason why they're there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, all in 12 maybe.
Yep, 12 at the top. Yep,
12. Yeah, 12 people, and there's like Okay, I've always thought it was really presumptuous to sit in a room where there's just as many people watching you in the crowd as there are on a panel, especially when you speak into a microphone, like like you want to amplify your voice anymore. This is spectacular here. What are they talking about? Let's see.
Something that Josh, or do you want to take that question? No, okay. Play off something, Josh.
That was very well organized. A little bit. Okay, so then we had this from Anna as well. It says from earlier today at the Queer in Sports panel. Was it entirely like?
I love that. And like one of them has paid to be there. It's the cameraman too, so that's fantastic.
Oh, and by the way, one of them was wearing a mask on stage.
Of course.
I see it.
Let's check out the Queer in Sports panel.
I mean, it's the same
Makes it
one.
really fun.
Well, yeah, but let's just see what they're talking about though.
Oh yeah, no,
Makes it
absolutely.
really fun. So for me, it's just like
Can we get people that actually played sports on there? Or?
Oh,
Well,
no, yeah.
Well, supposedly the trans woman on stage, the guy, he was quite the athlete before his transition. So he went into some spiel about that, but then talked about how he was like, once he transitioned, he couldn't play sports anymore. He considered, deleting himself, and he went into this whole sob story. But
Okay, let's play the game. Which one considered deleting themselves because they couldn't play sports anymore? Let's just go down the list. Blabs, you get to pick. Which one was it?
Oh, cake.
You know, I'm gonna have all of them though. All of them.
Phoenix?
Okay. All.
I'm gonna say it's the one with the yellow. It's the one with the mask. Let's
Okay.
go. Yeah,
The one-
that one definitely. Absolutely.
You think this was a woman, now a man?
I don't know what the fuck that is. No,
You know,
I think that's
actually,
just a
I'm
pathetic
changing-
dude.
I'm changing my answer. The one all the way. Wait, maybe not. I don't know. The one all the way on the left is like.
That's the one I was thinking.
He
Yeah.
looked. You remember that tranny health secretary, whatever the fuck it was. That's him.
oh
The
yeah,
Biden
that guy.
Fat
administration.
people, fat men, they get free tits. Like they already have built-in tits when they transition.
Now, what you guys can't see because this guy is blocking it with his head or whatever is there is another person there, and that is like the real tranny. That was the one with the long hair with the beard and unfortunately you can't see him, her, whatever he was. It was, but that one was the one. The one you can't see is the one who gave the sob story.
Well, hold on. Maybe the other video will show it off a little bit better from you. I don't know if that's
So that's just a husky woman there at the end.
She's butch.
I don't know what that was, to be honest with you, because it had like a very high voice, so I couldn't tell if it was a man or a woman. It's like a pat.
so it's this.
That's probably
that's
that's probably a problem out there in LA anyway, though.
I mean, you could find this person from a mile away, 100%.
Yeah, it was that person
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, absolutely, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Broad shoulders, tatted up.
Oh, yeah.
Long hair that shouldn't be long, little stringy, gross hair. Yeah, totally. Okay. So,
it was shim.
so your thoughts? I mean, going there, you seeing this? Obviously, it's a slap in the face, and we see this all the time. A lot of people are responding that, hey, specifically to Chris, I saw someone saying like, "Why don't you make your own convention, Chris?"
Yeah.
And we've talked about that quite at length in the past. And
I think the time is now. I think, look, man, between all of us, man, between like geeks and gamers, between Flash, between you, between us, like Ripa, it's now, man. Like I think we got it, dude. Because honestly, here's the other thing I didn't mention. The cons are normally pretty packed, right? Like even LA. This con was not packed, man. In fact, they still had badges after Saturday. Like when Saturday was closing, they still had a ton of badges that they just couldn't get rid of. So they were kind of giving them away.
I saw Anna's live stream. She was live streaming there. There's nobody fucking there. It's Friday night.
Yeah. People are just not coming anymore, man. And then when you have panels like this, what's the incentive to come?
Well, they want to get all the they thems out of their closets to come on out and hang out. I really have no idea, man. I don't know. It's amazing to me. It's all in the guise of inclusivity. You know, it's always that like, hey, now look, I am totally on board. By the way, about like we've talked internally about doing a convention many times. Conventions are a ton of money. I mean,
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of dollars to produce, and they do not make money. That's the one thing that people don't understand is the conventions do not make money unless you have loads and loads of sponsorships associated with it. I'm positive that between Side Scrollers, Geeks and Gamers, Film Threat, Ripaverse, like we could have 10,000 people in an event. Like I'm positive that we could draw an event that does that. Now the problem with that is, and this is like a legit concern, is that there are a lot of crazies out there. And they like, if we did an event, we would have to up the security 10x because we're not going out and shooting people, right? That seems to be a one-sided issue right now, which is very unfortunate. But so I think that's one of the biggest issues with it. But with that said, look, I am totally on board with that.
Yeah, and look, it is very expensive, man, and there's not a lot of payoff to it for the most part. Like even Marvel and DC have pulled out of San Diego Comic-Con because they weren't really getting much from it. You know what I mean? It's like a little promotion, but they could get that with basic marketing, so they didn't really need the cons as much. And then they started their own stuff like D23, and Warner Brothers has their own thing that they do now separately. So it doesn't have the same pull and draw as it once did. Look, man, my thing is when it comes to these panels, there's room for everybody, right? You can have your trans-masculine, people in sci-fi, and you can have us. Like, I don't see why we can't have all of it, right? Just to be fair, I mean, why not just have all of it? Why exclude?
I 100% agree. I think ultimately, what do I say? Let the market decide.
Yes.
If you're packing a panel room and they have 6 people in it, then you know what? Next year you get an invite back. They do not. It's really simple. Like you can talk about inclusivity all you want, but all I see is that that entire room has 80%, 90%, 95% of its room empty compared to that room, which is 100% full.
Oh, and by the way, I failed to mention this. The room that we packed was 3 times the size of that room.
Right.
And we packed it. So I mean, with standing room only.
Well, speaking of things that were happening on Comic-Con,
those panels are actually saving lives, though.
Good point. Of course.
Excellent point, Flash. Speaking of living and lives, Flash, I'm curious to hear your thoughts, and I'm curious to see if you saw this riot while you were at Comic-Con. Did you see the Stan Lee hologram thing?
I did. It was weird, dude.
Okay. Let's play a couple minutes of this, or a minute or so of this, because Flash. I especially want to hear your thoughts. We'll hear it in just a second.
I'm here today as Hollow Stank to join you at the 2025 Los Angeles Comic-Con. For decades, I had the thrill of spinning yarns about heroes and villains in that mighty Marvel manner. But the real heroes have always been you, the fans, whose excitement kept those stories alive. The world may be a little nutty now and then, but as long as we share our stories and imaginations, there will always be room for hope, heart, and heroism. So thank you for keeping the dream alive. Excelsior!
What do you think about the X-Men legacy being so tied to the civil rights movement?
Oh,
God. Well, before fake Stan Lee answers this question, Riot, when you saw this, what did you think of this?
Okay, man, this is a word you'll never hear me ever say just because I think it's kind of feminine, but it felt icky, dude. Like it felt bad. It didn't feel good, right? Like it felt like, and maybe because like when you know the story of Stan Lee, especially in his later years, it gets even more kind of gross, right? Because of the fact that there's rumors that in his later years, like the people who were overseeing him were kind of like using him and working him to death, and he was almost like a slave to these people in a weird way, and his caretakers, So when you see that, it's like, dude, even in death, they won't let this man rest. Like it felt so weird and icky watching that, dude. I was like, this isn't right.
Flash, I know you actually had an opposite thought of this. Is you thought this is what Stanley would be into when we first talked about this coming out.
He was definitely into. I think he would have liked this stuff because I mean he was always into it, the praise and stuff. I'm not saying I like it, but I think he would. I think he would like that if he had known something like that could happen. The statues to him, all that stuff, he loved that stuff. So I think it's a little bit different because I think he would have been down for it, but I don't like it. But I'm not going to get outraged for him because I think that he would have approved of that. I think he loves being in all those Marvel movies. I definitely think that he would want them to keep doing stuff with him. You know what I'm saying?
But you know, regardless of how I felt about it, I mean, there wasn't a big line or a big draw for that. Like there wasn't like a lot of people waiting to get in line to experience it, man. In fact, you could walk right up because there was no line. So
yeah, I would
know.
pay $20 or whatever the hell they wanted.
Yeah, they were asking like $20 for like 3 minutes or something, right? Like, and were there a bunch of like these holograms set up, or was it just one singular station?
I believe it was just one. Because I just kind of walked in really quick and then walked out because I have my press badge, so I didn't have to pay for shit. I just kind of walked in and checked it out, and I walked out. But I mean, and the thing is, they had a bunch of other Marvel things set up there, like statues and stuff from the movies and all this other stuff. So it's kind of like a museum.
He loved pop culture innovations and stuff like that. Like, I think he just sees it as a way for him to be still a part of future generations. And that's just the kind of guy he was.
Sure. No, I agree with that. But I feel like, if he were alive and they did this, I'd be like, oh, okay, he approved this. He's into it. But it's that he's not here. It feels weird that they did this.
No, I hear you. I mean, this is a whole conversation because they're doing it with more than just him. Aren't they doing like Tupac holograms and shit?
Oh, they have done. They've done Tupac. They've done a bunch of other artists or people who are not here. Michael Jackson, I think they did too. And
yeah, you're going to see more of it.
Yeah. Well, let's hear his thoughts really quick, or his AI thoughts. That's really weird to think about. His thoughts on this question here.
Another fan named Melissa. She wants to know if you could pick one superhero who would save the world today, who would that be?
That's a great question, Melissa. If I had to pick one superhero to save the world today, I'd have to choose Spider-Man. He's got the agility, quick thinking, and web-slinging abilities to swing into action and tackle any challenge. Plus, he's a hero for the people, always putting their safety first. He's got a lot of heart, just like the fans who love him. Great question, Melissa.
To know what your
So there you go. Like that's more or less what you got over there. Is just kind of generic slop. You said people like walk right up to it. There wasn't a whole lot going on there. People weren't more intrigued by it.
I mean, it wasn't like I was expecting, like when I first heard about it, I thought there'd be like a huge line just to get into, not really. I mean, it was, and I'm talking like mid-Saturday. I'm talking like when everybody's already there. And it could, okay. And in all fairness, it could be because downstairs, Elizabeth Olsen was down there signing autographs. Paul Bettany, who plays the Vision in Avengers, was downstairs. Charlie Cox was downstairs. Daredevil. So I mean, there was a lot going on in the lower levels. Celebrities signing autographs. So maybe that took away from the Stan Lee experience.
Well, I appreciate you sharing your story here, man, and I think it's great. Like, we should absolutely think of an alternative, something we can all work on together to, once again, it's about changing the culture here.
Well,
I like how they controlled it and wouldn't let people go ask it questions directly because they've been asking all kinds of crazy shit.
Right. I would only imagine, hey, Stan, what are your thoughts on whatever? Like on the Holocaust order. I was like, ugh. So
it was a great day in history.
right. Thanks, Stan.
Excelsior.
Excelsior. Hey, Ryan, thanks so much for hopping in with us today, buddy. Appreciate
absolutely,
it.
man.
Do you have common sense? You do? Oh, good. Well, you should probably watch this video here then.